Hi, how's it going? My name is Eric McKenzie. I am a project manager at Stryker Instruments, and I'm looking to take you through a quick PowerPoint presentation on a business proposal that we're looking to get approved and able to action on to hopefully bring some future products to Stryker and some future opportunity to continue to grow the organization in the path that we're looking to go. So, quick overview of what we're going to be going over. It's going to be identifying current problems, some of the current issues that we're having with outdated systems, not allowing us to transact against when it comes to order entry, along with doing field service work. There's some integration issues between two of the systems that we're using, which causes us a lot of hassle and back end work that needs to be completed to make sure that the customer is receiving a world-class experience, along with the sales reps, and making sure that they are receiving a service that is benefiting their business. Also, we're going to be talking about some of the solutions for the problem. We've looked at a lot of different platforms, a lot of different opportunities moving forward on what we can do to better our processes, whether it's process improvement, removing some things that are just not needed to have good, efficient processes. And we've also looked at some new ERP systems that will hopefully bring these positive impacts to Stryker and give employees a better one look, one feel system to be able to use and transact against. Also, we're going to talk about some of the impacts this will have on Stryker as an organization. Obviously, with any change that takes place, it's going to turn some people the wrong way, and we may run into some bumps along the road as we go through these changes. So while we're going through this process of implementing a new system, we're constantly documenting and tracking any changes this may have on Stryker and how it impacts the business, and making sure that we can solution for any of the impacts that will impact the business in a negative way. We want to make sure that we have a solution to be able to fix that and talk to it to make sure that we can continue business and not have any issues down the road. Also, what we're going to talk about is discussing the timeline. What does this look like as far as training goes? We need to have a training schedule set up so all employees who will be utilizing these two systems, making sure that they're receiving the proper training to be able to transact against when customers call in, when sales reps call in, when they need to do research. We need to make sure that they know how to utilize this system and utilize it in an efficient manner. Also, what does launch look like? We're going to have some different days that we've looked at on when we're going to launch, and making sure that we have all the information that we need and make sure that the system is set up to work properly when it comes time to launch. After launch, we have what's called hypercare. So what are we going to do on the back end after we launch? How do we have on-site support? How do we make sure that we're resolving any issues that we may run into post-launch? How do we get those fixed and corrected so we don't have any issues moving forward in the new systems? So what we're going to talk about now is our current problem that we're running into. So currently, right now, we are running in outdated CRM systems. And the first system that we're going to talk about is AS400 or PRMS. This is an older system. It's a system that's been around since the early 80s. It's an old system. There's a lot of manual manipulation in order to do any sort of intake or order entry. There's a lot of coding that needs to be done. Customer service agents are having to remember certain number sequences to be able to move from one screen to another, so it makes it very difficult to be efficient when intaking an order or trying to assist a customer or sales rep during a transaction during the day. Another system that we utilize is called CRM Oracle. CRM Oracle is a system that we use for our field service department. So any serviceable device that's out in the field, technicians are able to go out and they're going to transact and document all the issues and findings that they have in what's called CRM Oracle. And then there's an integration process that takes place between both CRM and AS400 when it comes to billing and documentation. The current issues that we have with that is we're having some integration issues between the two, which means we're losing a lot of visibility on some of the things that we're actually doing. Outdated information. It's very important to have current information in the system, so not only customer service agents, but also any managers, marketing managers, inside sales, they're able to utilize up-to-date and current information to be able to work on new proposals or opportunities. So outdated information, we're continuing to fight this battle because it is manual manipulation to constantly have information updated. So that's a battle that we have due to integration problems between AS400 and CRM. And just like I talked about, lack of system integration, AS400 and CRM, they do talk to each other. There's an integration process that does take place, and with most integrations, it takes place overnight. So what you may transact against today, you're not actually going to see in the other system until tomorrow. So what we're running into is integration issues where when information is populated in AS400, it's actually not being populated into CRM, which means we're losing visibility, and it means we're going to run into a lot more errors and issues down the road when it comes to order intake. And a lot of manual processes. As we continue to move towards the future, it's moving towards an automated system, automated processes to alleviate some of the pain. So right now we have a lot of manual processes that are in place, which creates a lot more opportunity for error, human error. You're doing a lot of data entry, so we're trying to move away from manual processes. Also, one big pain point, although it's not directly related to a system problem, we're having to have more daily meetings to discuss issues with these systems, which is creating more time away from our daily tasks to actually have meetings and talk about some of the issues that we're running into, having to pull IT in to help resolve some of the issues. So it's a lot more added work due to the issues that we're having. System downtime, a lot of the issues that we also run into are system crashes. There are times where the system just does not want to cooperate, and the system will completely shut down, not allowing anyone to do order entry, which in the long run, it's shutting down the business because we're not able to intake any orders and bring in that revenue for the organization. So that's where we're having to get IT involved again to help get these issues fixed. System glitches, where the system will automatically start populating orders in the system that actually were never placed by any agent, so false data is being populated, which is another issue that we run into with having up-to-date and accurate information. Server slows down because the system is very old. The system does not run at a higher pace, which means it takes longer to actually do order entry, which creates more time on the phone for any customer service agent. So that's another issue that we're running into. And also increased errors in order entry. A lot of manual manipulation creates a lot of opportunity for more error. Solution. This is a part that we're excited to talk about. Utilizing new CRM systems. So as you can see on the right side of this page, Salesforce and SAP. These are the two new ERP systems that we're looking to move forward with. SAP being our main ERP system, which is going to house all of our information regarding sales information, order entry, finances. This is going to be the source of truth that's going to house all that information. Salesforce is another platform that's going to be utilized for order entry and also depot and field related work. So when a customer service agent gets a call, they're going to be transacting in Salesforce, setting up those repair cases and order entries, and then that integration happens with SAP, which is going to be a big benefit for our customer service agents. This is also going to bring us modern design, drop-down tabs, automated processes, being more user-friendly than an old system that you have to memorize different coding. A lot more automated processes is going to streamline the process a lot more, bringing happier customers and happier sales reps out in the field. So for our SWOT analysis, we're going to talk about the strength. Software update. This is a huge update. We're moving towards the future, kind of getting out of the Stone Age, so that's going to be a huge win for us. Efficient process updates, so really working on bettering our processes. By moving to a newer system, we're able to update those processes in a way that allows us to run our organization in the way it should be ran and not having to be ran off of limitations of our current systems. Bring more automation, more streamlined processes, which is just going to speed up our entire process. And due to the automation, it's going to account for less headcount. You're not going to need as many people to do order entry because of more automated processes, which is going to be able to save the organization more money. Some of the weaknesses that we may run into is we're late to the game. These newer CRM systems, Salesforce, SAP, they've been around for years, so Stryker is late to the game when it comes to utilizing these new ERP systems, which causes there's already newer system development in the works for better SAPs, better Salesforce, other ERP systems. There's newer systems that are being developed that unfortunately Stryker's coming into the game late, so we're having to utilize some newer but yet older software. Opportunity, divisional changes. This is going to be able to bring some new opportunities to streamline every division to be in one system, so that way there's no division that's in a different system. We want to have that Stryker one look, one feel. So being in these two systems, we'll be able to have each division to sit in one system. This is also going to help us prepare for future launches. We're looking to launch one division at a time, so as we launch one division, we can learn from our mistakes and opportunities and have that next launch be even more successful so that we're moving in the right direction. And that's that lessons learned piece that I just talked about. Some of the threats that we may run into is having to have contingency plans. What's going to happen at go live if we have an issue with the system? What are we going to do to make sure that business can still function? System crashes. Even though we're going to a new system, it's still a computer system, it's still technology, and can still fail over time. So what do we do if the system crashes? If order intake is not functional, how do we function as a business? So these are some opportunities that we have to look at as a business on how do we protect against this moving forward. Business impact, like I talked about, process changes, one look, one feel. We want to be able to have that every employee can go into a system and know how to interact with it regardless if they're in SAP or Salesforce. We want to have that one look, one feel for both the customer and employee experience. Business impact, this is going to be a huge benefit to our analytics department. Being able to have more accurate data and information is going to be a huge plus for the business. And also getting away from tribal knowledge. A lot of the current systems that we use, AS400 and CRM, there's a lot of tribal knowledge that is taking place, so not as much is being documented, so relying on those tenured individuals to have that knowledge and teach others. So trying to get away from that will be a huge business impact. What does training look like for us? We're going to have what's called Train the Trainer. So these are going to be subject matter experts that are going to be training the employees. So training these SMEs ahead of time to make sure that they are capable of training and feel comfortable training and receiving feedback from those employees. Also with training team leads. We're also going to have instructor-led training, which is going to take place in the classroom. There's going to be one-on-one time. And also we're going to have day-in-the-life scenarios that are actual scenarios that are faced on a day-to-day basis, so employees can feel comfortable moving to this new system once it launches. And also having sandbox training. We want to be able to have an environment that allows employees to practice before the system launches so they can feel 100% comfortable moving to this new system moving forward and not have any hesitation or being scared to transact against. Launch. What does launch look like? We're going to have a cutover activity, which is going to be taking all of our data from our older systems and implementing it into our new system, which allows us to get away from that old system into the new, make sure that our information is accurate and up to date in the new system. During launch, we're also going to have on-site troubleshooting, so Salesforce and SAP representation will be on site to assist in this launch. So if there are any issues that we run into with the system, we can have on-site help to help quickly resolve some of the issues that we may run into. Also, the SME support, they're going to be walking around during launch day, making sure that each employee is feeling comfortable and good with what they're doing and transacting against in the new systems. having engagement activities. So we're going to be providing lunch during launch week, making sure that engagement is high, morale is high. Also have some fun games to make sure that employees are interacting with each other, having fun, and feeling positive about this change and move to the new system. Hypercare, what is Hypercare? Hypercare is what we're going to do post-launch to make sure that we're fulfilling our duties as a project team to make sure that the system is functioning how it should post-launch. So we want to make sure that the system is working in a great way. So how we're going to manage that is going to be follow-up reports. It's going to be our 30, 60, 90. This is how is the system performing at 30 days, how is it performing at 60 days, and how is it performing at 90 days. Being able to really utilize this information to make some good changes moving forward if we do run into any issues during post-launch. And additional enhancements, we want to make sure that these are being captured. Is it a business change that we need to document and mark, or is it a process change? Being able to track these things during launch and after launch, and making sure that we can continue to implement these changes in the new system to bring a better future for Stryker and hopefully continue to bring more business. I just wanted to say thank you for your time. I look forward to hearing from you. This has been a great opportunity and a lot of fun to work on. My contact information is on the right side of the slide, so I'd like to thank you again for your time.